Do you believe that Tesla is already paving the way for yet another revolution? Well, recently, the highly anticipated Tesla Model Y Juniper 2025 prototype was spotted cruising the streets of the US. And do you know what caught everyone's eye? A camera positioned strategically on the front bumper. It seems like Tesla is refining its assisted driving systems even further, and this extra camera could be a sign of significant improvements to the autopilot. But that's not all. The exterior design has also received some subtle tweaks. Those small changes that, at first glance, might seem minor but actually make a huge difference in the final look. What about the interior? Well, we haven't seen detailed photos yet, but expectations are sky high. If Tesla follows the trend set by the Model 3 redesign, we can expect more premium materials, an even more functional central screen, and maybe even new ambient lighting to give that futuristic touch. The Juniper seems to be getting special attention to please both tech enthusiasts and drivers looking for comfort and style. There are also rumors that this update could include completely new features, but as always, Tesla is keeping the suspense high. It looks like the company is refining every little detail, even when the changes seem small at first. Take the Model Y long range increase, for example. It's gone from 308 to 311 miles per charge. 3 miles might not sound like much, but when it comes to electric vehicles, every extra mile makes a huge difference, whether you're trying to save time on the road or avoid unnecessary stops. This small update serves as a reminder that Tesla never stops improving its cars, even those that are already incredibly efficient. This change raises many questions about what's going on behind the scenes. Perhaps it's an adjustment in battery chemistry, something that optimizes capacity without necessarily altering the size or weight. It could also be that they've worked on the energy efficiency of other components, like the air conditioning system or even the aerodynamics. Tesla has this talent for surprising us, right? Sometimes it's a tiny tweak here and there that ends up improving the driver experience in ways far more significant than it first seems. Another interesting detail is that these improvements might be connected to the much-anticipated redesign of the Model Y Juniper. It seems like they're testing and refining components before the updated version hits the streets. This could be a way to ensure that everything is perfect when the Juniper finally rolls out. If we stop to think about it, Tesla always takes a progressive approach, making small adjustments here and there, as if setting the stage for something bigger. That makes anyone curious about what's coming next. Now, think about it. Could this small change in range also reflect a new approach to energy management during charging? Tesla is already famous for its super efficient and fast charging, but never underestimate their ability to find new ways to improve. A tweak here, another there, and suddenly you realize you're spending less time than ever at a supercharger. Maybe they're even testing new technology that will be exclusive to future models, like the Juniper. These improvements could also directly impact how we view electric vehicles in everyday life. After all, the biggest concern for people considering an electric car is still range. Even small updates like this make a big difference, especially for those who use their car for long trips or live in areas where charging stations aren't so common. It's almost like Tesla is saying, we're always thinking about how to make your life easier and more practical. Speaking of ease, what about the potential software optimizations? Tesla loves to include performance improvements in their cars through software updates. Maybe this new range is the result of smarter energy management in the onboard system? That would be so typical of them, right? After all, they can completely change the user experience without needing to make physical changes to the vehicle. It's like the car gets smarter while you sleep. Have you ever gotten into a car so quiet that it felt like you were isolated from the world? Tesla is working on exactly that with the redesign of the Model 3, and all signs point to the Model Y Juniper following the same path. They started using double-layer acoustic glass in the Model 3, a special material that not only blocks out external noise, but also creates a calmer and more comfortable interior environment. It's the kind of detail you might not notice right away, but it makes all the difference when you're driving on a highway or dealing with the heavy traffic of a big city. The truth is, cabin noise has always been one of the main points of criticism for the Model Y. When you accelerate on the road, the sound of the wind hitting the body and the noise from the tires can take away from the premium experience Tesla wants to deliver. It seems they've listened to the feedback and decided to tackle this issue head-on. The improvements in sound insulation promise to transform the driving experience of the Model Y Juniper, making each trip smoother, even at high speeds. What's interesting about these changes is that they don't stop at the glass. The materials used inside the car, such as the door panels and ceiling coverings, have also been redesigned to better absorb sound. These new materials act like a sound sponge, reducing the internal echo that sometimes happens in less insulated cabins. This shows how Tesla is thinking about every detail to offer a truly immersive experience without distractions. And you know what's even more fascinating? Tesla isn't just trying to make the car quieter. They're adjusting the sound balance inside the cabin. For example, by reducing external noise, you'll hear the car's audio system more clearly, which is already high quality. Imagine listening to your favorite music or even a podcast while driving, with the sensation of being in a concert hall instead of stuck in traffic. It's the kind of experience that turns a simple drive into something much more enjoyable. What's truly impressive is how these technologies are implemented without compromising the car's weight or efficiency. Adding insulation materials might seem like something that would increase the total weight, but Tesla is a master at finding solutions that balance comfort and performance. They know that any weight increase could affect range, so every choice is carefully calculated. It's as if they're always striving to get the best of both worlds: energy efficiency and first-class comfort. These changes are also a big step toward attracting an even wider audience. Anyone who's driven luxury cars knows that cabin silence is one of the most valued elements. Now, with the Model Y Juniper, Tesla is positioning itself even more strongly in this segment, delivering something that's not just technological, but also sensory. After all, what's more luxurious than driving in complete silence while the world outside continues in chaos? Another interesting point is how this puts Tesla even further ahead of the competition. Many electric vehicle manufacturers are still focused solely on range and performance, but Tesla is showing that comfort is just as important. It's as if they're redefining what it means to drive an electric car, making silence and tranquility an essential part of the experience. Every detail seems designed to show that it's not just about reaching your destination, but about enjoying the journey. With double-layer acoustic glass, premium insulation materials, and meticulous attention to detail, the Model Y Juniper promises to redefine what we expect from an electric vehicle. More than just a car, it seems to be transforming into a retreat, a space where you can escape from the noise of the world and simply enjoy the ride. The idea of transforming the car's interior into a peaceful space makes everyone even more excited to see the final result. Imagine driving in the middle of a busy city and, when you open the door, discovering a bicycle passing right next to you. This is the type of situation Tesla wants to avoid with a new blind spot alert system. The idea is simple but brilliant. If the car detects something approaching, like a bicycle or a pedestrian, it automatically locks the doors, preventing potential accidents. This is not only practical, but also gives that feeling that the car is always looking out for you, as if it has its own reflexes for dangerous situations. And when it comes to technology, Tesla always likes to go beyond the basics. This safety system works seamlessly with the car's external cameras, which are already known to be one of the cornerstones of autopilot. With this approach, safety isn't limited to a single feature, but is part of a larger ecosystem where every function works together. It's almost as if the car has eyes everywhere, ensuring that you and those around you are protected. Now, imagine you're on a long trip in winter, facing freezing temperatures. There's nothing more annoying than a foggy windshield or difficulties charging the car quickly in the cold. Tesla knows this well and has brought updates that make supercharging more efficient in these conditions. It's as if they've thought of all those little frustrations we face in winter and decided to eliminate them once and for all. For example, the windshield defrosting system has received significant improvements. With a system that automatically adjusts the interior temperature and directs the airflow to the most critical points, you no longer have to worry about manually wiping the glass or waiting long minutes for it to clear. In extremely cold climates, these little details make a huge difference, especially when you're in a hurry or in a situation with reduced visibility. And it doesn't stop there. Tesla software updates are almost magical when it comes to solving specific problems. With a single update, they can improve charging performance in low temperatures. This means that even on the coldest days, the supercharger will work quickly and efficiently without you having to wait longer than necessary. This type of innovation not only makes life easier, but also shows how committed Tesla is to the comfort of drivers in any situation. What's interesting is how these improvements seem so subtle but make a huge difference in everyday life. Think about the door locking system. It's not something you'll notice until you really need it. Similarly, charging in cold weather and defrosting are features that might go unnoticed most of the time, but become indispensable when the situation demands it. This attention to detail is what makes the experience with a Tesla so unique. Another point worth highlighting is how these updates don't require you to swap cars or buy new accessories. Since Tesla does everything via software, owners of the latest models can enjoy these improvements without having to do anything. Just keep the car connected to the internet, and voila, you have a safer vehicle ready to face any weather conditions. This is something that truly sets Tesla apart from other automakers and shows how technology can work in our favor. All of this only reinforces how Tesla is constantly thinking about ways to make driving safer and more convenient. Whether you're in a big city or crossing a frozen road in the middle of nowhere, the car seems always ready to handle whatever comes your way. These new features not only increase safety, but also show that Tesla is always ahead, turning common problems into elegant, practical solutions. Did you know that Tesla is launching an amazing promotion in Canada? Imagine being able to finance a Model Y or Model 3 with 0% interest. Yes, you heard right, zero. But there's an interesting detail. To take advantage of this offer, you need to include the full self-driving FSD package in your purchase. It's a smart move by Tesla, because in addition to offering an attractive financial deal, they are also encouraging more people to try out their advanced autonomous driving technology. Now, what's really fascinating about this FSD package is how integrated it already is into the Tesla experience. With it, the car can do amazing things like change lanes on its own, park without your help, and even leave a parking spot and come pick you up. Of course, the system still requires driver supervision, but it's like the car is already taking concrete steps toward a future where driving will be completely optional. This promotion is a way to get customers to dive deep into this technology, almost like an introduction to the world of tomorrow. But why is Tesla offering 0% interest financing? Well, it's not just to make customers happy, although that's a great side effect. The larger goal seems to be strategic, increasing deliveries in the final quarter of the year. It makes perfect sense, right? This is the time when automakers rush to meet annual targets, and Tesla, as always, has found a creative way to do that. Plus, it's a smart way to spread their FSD technology even more, winning new fans and, who knows, changing the way people think about driving. And there's more. This promotion also says a lot about Tesla's confidence in their technology. They know that once you experience the FSD, it's hard to go back. The system is so intuitive and full of possibilities that, even while still in development, it already offers a futuristic experience. It's no wonder that many people who buy a Tesla with FSD end up becoming brand ambassadors, telling everyone how the technology works and why it makes a difference in everyday life. Another interesting aspect is the impact of this strategy on the Canadian market. Offering 0% interest is a huge draw, especially when financing rates for vehicles are generally not that low. This puts Tesla in a prominent position, both for those already considering an EV and those still on the fence. And, of course, when you add FSD into the equation, the perceived value of the car increases even more. Speaking of FSD, it's not just a technological luxury. It's also a statement of how Tesla views the future of mobility. Every software update, every mile driven by cars with the system activated, contributes to improving the artificial intelligence behind this technology. So, the more people use FSD, the smarter it gets. And that's exactly what Tesla wants: to create a cycle where users help improve the system while enjoying its benefits. Now think about it with me. How revolutionary is this business model? Instead of simply selling a car, Tesla is offering an experience. It's almost like you're not just buying a vehicle, but rather joining an exclusive club where innovation and practicality go hand in hand. This approach makes the customer part of something bigger, almost like a collaborator in the future of autonomous driving. This promotion in Canada may seem like just a financial incentive, but deep down, it's much more than that. It's Tesla's way of showing its long-term vision, attracting customers who aren't just interested in driving, but in being part of a technological revolution. And, of course, for those who are already thinking about investing in a Tesla, there's no better time to take advantage. Have you heard about the promises of the Model Y Juniper 2025? It seems that Tesla is planning a real revolution with this model. One of the most awaited updates is the enhanced sound insulation. Have you ever thought about driving down the road without that constant noise that seems to never go away? Well, they're investing in more advanced materials to reduce external sound as much as possible. This will make trips much more peaceful, especially for those who enjoy good music or even just want to talk without raising their voice. It seems like a simple change, but for those who drive a lot, it makes all the difference. Moreover, the safety systems are expected to receive a significant upgrade. Tesla is already known for being a pioneer in this area, but the Juniper could take it to the next level. There are talks of even smarter cameras, sensors that predict risk situations, and of course, improvements to the famous autopilot. All of this is not only to protect passengers, but also to give the driver more confidence, whether on busy highways or narrow streets. And guess what? This could even attract those who are still hesitant about diving into the world of electric cars. And we can't forget the advances in autonomy. The Juniper is expected to bring improvements in range per charge, something that has always been a crucial factor for those considering a car change. No one likes to be tied to a charger, right? With more efficient batteries and optimizations in energy consumption, this model promises to cover even greater distances without needing a recharge. That means fewer stops on long trips and more convenience on a daily basis. It's a detail that puts Tesla one step ahead, especially for those living in areas with less charging infrastructure. Another point that has everyone curious is the integration of technology. Tesla never disappoints when it comes to innovation, and the Juniper will be no different. Imagine an even more interactive infotainment system, capable of learning your habits and adjusting settings automatically to make everything just the way you like it. Sounds like something out of a movie, right? But that's exactly what makes Teslas so unique. They're not just cars, they're almost like personal assistants on wheels. Speaking of technology, connectivity is expected to shine in the Juniper. Tesla has always invested in over-the-air updates, and this is unlikely to change. In fact, the expectation is that the Juniper will bring even more functions controlled by the app, such as personalized adjustments before you even enter the car. Imagine warming up the seats or adjusting the temperature with a simple tap on your phone while you finish your coffee. These little details make the driving experience even more special. The design hasn't been overlooked either. While Tesla maintains its minimalist look, the promise is of adjustments that make the model more modern and aerodynamic. New color options, redesigned wheels, and even subtle changes to the headlights are expected. This not only reinforces the brand's identity, but also shows that Tesla is attentive to the details that consumers value. After all, who doesn't like driving a car that turns heads wherever it goes? And best of all, these improvements aren't just about impressing. They have a clear purpose: meeting the expectations of a market that's becoming increasingly demanding. Consumers no longer just want a beautiful or efficient car. They want a complete experience, from safety to comfort. And that's exactly what the Model Y Juniper 2025 promises to deliver. It's no wonder Tesla continues to lead the electric vehicle market by a wide margin. It's interesting how Tesla manages to combine innovation with practicality. They know that to win over more people, it's not enough to bring impressive technologies. Real, everyday problems need to be solved. And the Juniper seems to be the answer to many of these demands, showing that Tesla is always one step ahead, not only in the electric vehicle market, but in the concept of mobility as a whole.